After the warm, romantic certainty of Candace's Where My Heart Belongs, what makes H's I Never Knew Love so interesting is that it comes from almost the opposite emotional place. Because this isn't a song about someone who has always believed in love. This is a song about a man who very clearly hasn't, and that changes everything. At its heart, I Never Knew Love is about emotional disbelief. It's about someone who has spent most of his life slightly skeptical of the whole idea. Not bitter, not angry, not cynical in a dramatic way, just unconvinced. The kind of man who probably thought love was something other people talked about, but not something he entirely trusted as real. And then suddenly, against his own instincts, it happens to him. That's what gives the song its weight. Because this isn't someone performing romance. This is someone quietly admitting, I didn't think this existed, until you, and that's a very powerful emotional idea. What makes the song work is its restraint. It doesn't shout, it doesn't overstate, and it doesn't feel like it's trying to force emotion. Instead, it sounds like someone who is almost surprised by his own feelings, and that gives it a sincerity that's very hard to fake. Then there's H himself, which is where things become quietly intriguing. His real name, apparently, is Richard Acheson. H being the sort of surname shorthand you'd get in an old British boys' school environment. He comes from a privileged background, was educated at Harrow, and was even offered a place at Cambridge, but he chose music instead, which tells you something important. He's not really a conventional romantic hero. He's someone who has stepped outside the life he was expected to live, and perhaps that's why the song feels believable. Because it sounds like it comes from someone who has spent a lot of time watching life, rather than fully trusting it. What's particularly clever is that H doesn't feel like a random second act. He feels like he belongs in the same world as Candace. But from the other side of the emotional mirror, she sings from the point of view of belonging. He sings from the point of view of disbelief becoming belief, and together, they create something rather compelling. Not a duet exactly, not a romance in the obvious sense, but a kind of shared emotional universe. And there's a lovely little moment where Candace introduces him and lightly touches his shoulder, and somehow, that tells you everything you need to know. So yes, I think I Never Knew Love works for a very particular reason. It doesn't sound like a man trying to impress anyone. It sounds like a man who has discovered something unexpectedly true, and is still slightly stunned by it. And that, in the end, is probably why it lands. What do you think? Do the most powerful love songs come from people who always believed in love, or from the ones who never thought they would?
Believed in many things before, but nothing ever stayed. Then you showed me what forever means, without a word to say. I never knew love till you walked into my life. Never knew a touch could heal or make the dark feel bright. I love the way you hold me, like I'm all you've ever known. I never knew love till you made my heart your home. If I had never found you, I'd still be standing in the rain, calling something living that was only half a name. Now every road leads back to you, every prayer, every dream. And for the first time in my life, love means everything. Now I know love